Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday for the... I should put my title right here. Weekend update. I try to do that on my booktube channel and it never works out right because I always do it like on the wrong side. I'm like, because like I'm holding a book. It never looks like I'm holding a book. Anyway, I was just talking to my neighbor. She's gardening. She's putting some things in pots over there, and so I was talking to her. Well, I took the dogs on a walk when we got home from brunch and running errands, and then they are inside with Alex. So I came out here and I was catching up on some cameos, and then cameos are little messages you can order from me if you didn't know. And then I went over and I was talking to her, and then I told her, because when I was doing one of the cameos, she said, "It's Friday night karaoke going on over there," because I was singing and stuff like that. And she was laughing about it. Here, I'm turning my phone stuff off. Anyway, so I told her, I said, well, I'm coming back over there to vlog. I'll be out in just a second. So she's over there gardening. I came out here. I go, don't mind me. It's just me vlogging. And she said, okay. You got anything else you want to add to the conversation? No. No. Did you figure out what your favorite book was? I asked her that earlier. I said, well, it's the one book you would recommend if she just couldn't think about it. But we, after brunch, you know, I always get take-home coffee from brunch, and it was banana nut today, which is like one of my favorites. But you know,
I saw the series of books.
What's your favorite series of books? Don't say those dirty books. Those dirty books about that English mistress or whatever.
It's historical fiction type of thing.
What is it?
Something called, I think the first one's called A Distant Shore or something.
A Distant Shore. Should we look it up? She's got all these benches over there. She's sitting on all these benches. A Distant Shore. Was it about a distant shore?
Yeah.
I've interacted with many neighbors today on my walks. Okay, A Distant Shore. If I tell you the author, will you know it?
I think so.
She likes historical fiction and cozy mysteries. Karen Kingsbury?
What?
Karen Kingsbury?
No.
There's more Fisher kids they're gonna get. They're gonna get kicked out. Carol Phillips?
No.
Sarah Sundin?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Kristen Hanna?
No.
Kristen Hanna has a book named Melissa McCauley?
No. Maybe I don't have the right title.
Santa Montefiore?
No.
That one's about a story of family secrets in Ireland. That sounds like something you'd like. I don't think that's the name of the book.
Probably not.
This is what we do all day long. She gardens and I sit out here. I talk on the phone. We have back and forth conversations when I'm in between my phone calls. Whew. I brought this out here for my cameos and I forgot to take it inside, but it does feel kind of good. I don't ever use the fan like this. I literally, the only reason I ever use these fans, and now I have a baton, but the only reason I ever use these fans is like for my videos to like clack them, you know, but you're not supposed to, like at music festivals. People are always like, why don't you take your fans to music festivals? Because I think it's corny. I don't know, I just don't. I mean, what am I gonna, I don't want to carry it around with me all day long, first of all. It's just like, I mean, if somebody hasn't and they're doing like right in my face, I'm like, can I see that? They're always surprised that I can like flip it or do, they're like, oh my God, how do you know how to do that? I'm like, I just do. Anyway, we don't get into all of it. But I don't see as many fans. Actually, that's not true. I feel like the last time I was at Ultra, I saw more fans than I usually do. But you know, I did not know this until like last year or the year before. That's called clacking. Okay, you're not supposed to do that at music festivals. So what people do is, they just like hold them in the air and then they're just like this in the air. That's so boring. No, if I can't. And then what were we watching the other day? We were watching RuPaul's Drag Race. Was it last night? No, it was last week. Who was the guest judge? Because she was doing this with it, and I was like, what is she doing with that fan? And Alex goes, that's what they do with it now. I go, no they don't. I go, that's stupid. But anyway, so after we went to brunch today, Alex, he had like 2 places he had to stop, and then I wanted to go to the post office because I was like, I have packages there, but I didn't want to go today because it's not open. So even if I get the card, I can't take it to the window and get my packages. So I wanted to go to Dick's Sporting Goods because, did I tell you guys about this already? The jeans that I bought, they don't fit me right. I didn't try them on when we were there. I thought I did, but I didn't. And I bought some t-shirts. The t-shirts from there, like, are green and brown. Oh, they're so cute. It's like this leisure wear. It's like RVTC, VRT. Do you guys know what the brand is I'm talking about? It's really nice stuff. It has like no labels on it. It's just like everything is just like the green that I got is like a very like mossy green, and it's like the brightest color that they have there. Like there's no yellows and reds. It's like brown, gray, black, dark gray, navy blue. It's like they're all, I love it. There's no labels. It's just all plain. But anyway, I got this pair of jeans, and they're called like the brush. I mean, I know what brush cotton is, but it was like these brush cotton gray jeans. Well, they were like $100. I thought I got them on sale, and I got them for like $92 or something like that. Well, I got them home, and I tried them on, and they're like shorter than I wanted, and they also feel like linen pants. They don't feel like jeans. Like they get wrinkled real easily. And I was like, I just don't see myself wearing these. So I was gonna take them back and see if they had like I like a heavier jean. And they didn't. We walked all through the store. I looked at some of the stuff I looked at. There was nothing in that section that I wanted, and it's all super extremely high priced. So then I looked through North Face, and I looked through Patagonia, because I was like, oh, if their winter stuff is on sale, like their coats and stuff, I'm just gonna buy it now for half price. None of their winter stuff is on sale. By the way, can we just talk about this? I'm getting this Sunday vlog started a little bit late. So it's 5:06. You know, you can't really see it. People say I never show the whole 5:06. Can you see that? Okay. It's like, Alex's car said it was 86, I think he said. 85 or 86. Do you know that's a morning dove? Oh, she went to the garage.
What?
Do you know that that's a morning dove? She's gonna tell me it's not.
Yeah.
Is that a morning dove?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know Sounds of Birds?
I've got an app on my phone.
Oh, you do? Everybody tells me I need to get that app. What's that app called? Okay, well, I'll get that from you later. Oh, everybody's telling me today on my walk that we're getting thunderstorms later tonight. It's 82 right now. Do you know what it's supposed to be tomorrow? Well, yesterday when I looked, it was supposed to be a high of 50. Yeah, it says, oh, now it's a high of 46 tomorrow. Thunderstorms during the evening will give way to cloudy skies after midnight. Potential for severe thunderstorms. So, I started a new BritBox show last night, so I'm going to watch that tonight. It's okay. It's called, we'll have to look it up. Midlands. I want to talk about this because I want to see if anybody else has watched this. Because if anybody else has watched this, it feels very much to me like the only way I can explain. I like it. It's good. It's about a missing girl. What's her name? Kathy? Karen? I don't remember her name. But her mom and her, like it starts off midsummer or mid-something. Anyway, her and her mom are like in this parenting class because their kids got in trouble or something like that, and then the girl goes missing. It feels very much to me like the only way I can explain it is like a British Lifetime movie, but it apparently got nominated for BAFTAs and stuff. The woman that plays the police officer, she's been in a bunch of other stuff. What's that I've seen? Where's my Prime at on here? Why is my Prime gone on here? Oh, there it is. I'll tell you what the show is called. Tanya and I were talking about all kinds of shows. The Moorside. The Moorside. Here, I'll tell you what this woman's name is. I can't believe this got, I mean, it's good. Like, I'm interested in it, but I can't believe that it got nominated for any BAFTA awards. I didn't even know the BAFTAs did TV shows. I don't watch the BAFTAs. I just watch, like, the funny parts of it. Moorside TV show cast. So, Sheridan Smith plays this mom right here. And she's, like, the one that's, like, running the... like trying to find out who everybody is. Here, Siobhan Finneran. She plays... she has been over there trying to figure this out. She's laughing right now. What is it called?
Maybe Thunder on a Distant Shore.
Thunder?
Maybe.
This right here is the cozy mystery. Thunder on... No, what we're trying to figure out is the cozy mystery. No. But I'm so glad this is your favorite book series that you can't even remember what it's called. Hey, how are you? This good-looking guy just walked right by while we were talking about all this kind of stuff. He's about my age. He's got this golden retriever.
Something about it is sore.
We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll figure it out eventually.
You better let me know when you do. Siobhan. Now, oh, you gonna put Easter lights up now that your St. Patrick's Day lights are over? What are your Easter light colors?
Pink and lavender and
Oh, I like that. She keeps on moving this bench around. It cracks me up. Okay. So this is Siobhan Finneran. She's been in something else I watched just recently. Oh, she was in Happy Valley. Oh, she played the heroin-addicted sister in Happy Valley. I feel like she was in something else I watched, and she was... The Lock. I was actually going to watch that. She's so good. I love her. She's in Downton Abbey, too, but I don't watch that. Should I watch Downton Abbey? I don't feel like it's really my kind of show. Oh, The Moor Side. I'm watching that right now. Is she in Vera? I feel like she was in an episode of Vera, maybe. Anyway, I started watching that. School for Scammers. Who's even heard of that? Not me. What's that called that she was in? Snatches. Moments from Women's Lives. What's that? School for Stammerers she was in. Cannon and Balls was the very first thing she ever did in 1990. She's like 3 years older than me. We're about the same age. Anyway, she's a, when you watch a lot of those like British television shows, a lot of people are like in different, like, they'll even play like a detective in one show and a detective in the other show, and it's like different detectives, but like they act the same way. And you don't care because they're so fantastic. Anyway, so we were on our way home today from Dick's Sporting Goods. I said, I need to stop. He needed to get gas, and I was like, cleaning his windows and filling his tank. So I was like, can we please not go to Costco? Because he had to get gas at Costco the other day. I said, can we please not go to Costco? Can we please go to Thornton's so I can get a fountain pop? So we went to Thornton's and I got a fountain pop. I was gonna get a fountain iced tea, but you guys are gonna die when you hear this. Okay, remember, if you were here for my discussion the other day, what's the number one kind of iced tea that I absolutely cannot stand? Arizona. On the fountain pop machine, of which they redid Thornton's up the street from us, okay? Like, their fountain pop area is now, like, it's extravagant, okay? Like, you feel like you're in a soda pop, like, store. But anyway, so they have, like, all these different options. The only kind of iced tea they had was that they had an Arizona iced tea, which I said was the worst kind of iced tea. Okay, I can't even imagine it out of a tap, let alone in a can. But you know what else they had? They had Arizona Arnold Palmer's you could get from tap. I almost got it just because I thought it would be so funny on here, but I was like, no, I won't enjoy it, so I got a Diet Pepsi instead. And if you need me to explain to you the difference between Diet Coke in a can and Diet Pepsi in a cup, this is a fountain pop, okay? Because the fountain goes in and you get the ice. I like bigger ice now, but back forever, Tony and I, she still drinks the crushed ice. This is, you can hear it, it's crushed ice. I don't like crushed ice anymore. I like the big ice, but there, you didn't have an option. Some places you go, they give you the option. This is all very important to me. But I did get 2 sweet teas, not extra sweet teas. I got 2 because the other one, I think that was the problem, was it was too sweet. I got 2 sweet teas of the brand that I really like. So I gotta call Tony when I'm done with this. We talked forever last night on the phone. Well, when I got back from my walk and stuff like that, what did Alex and I watch last night? We got caught up on, was that RuPaul's Drag Race last night or the night before that we watched it? No, we watched RuPaul's Drag Race last night. And then he is watching, because I was like, do you want to watch Beverly Hills tonight? You want to wait? He's like, we can wait till tomorrow night. I was like, okay. So I said, well, I'm going to go outside and talk to Tanya Jean. So I came out here and I called her. Tanya and I talked for like an hour on the phone last night, maybe an hour and a half. Oh my God, I walked so long last night, you guys. I have like an hour, I have about an hour left, hour and 12 minutes left of Death du Jour. And then I'm getting closer to being caught up on these books. I'm gonna feel so good when I'm caught up on all these books. But anyway, so Death du Jour by Kathy Reichs. The first one was real boring, but I also think it's because I listened to it over such a long period of time. The second one, I'm liking this one. It's about a nun that died a long time ago, and they're trying to find out who she is and all this kind of stuff, but then they find these kids that were murdered at the same time, and then she's got this island that she goes to. I like it. I'm liking the second one a lot better than the third one. The only thing about it is, and you know what? I think this is the thing I was so connected to when I must have read it back in the day. If anybody's reading the Temperance Brennan books by Kathy Reichs, so it's, last year I did the Alex Cross books, which I still haven't finished yet. I have like 5 to go. And a new one came out, so I think I have 6 to go, 6 or 7. And I think I had 6 to go and I still, so 7. I'm gonna get them done. I'm gonna get caught up with Alex Cross. I didn't do the whole series not to finish the last 6 books. But, and then he puts out like 1 a year. So I got a year to get them all done. But anyway, I needed a break and it becomes so repetitive. So I wanted to do another series this year. I wish I would have picked the Kay Scarpetta books by Patricia Cornwell. But when Mel and I were talking about it, they were each of them so long. And then I wanted to do like the A is for Alibi by Sue Grafton. But Mel had no interest in really reading those. I mean, she would have done it if I said I really wanted to, but she didn't. And I wanted to do something that she and I could do together until we put the Thriller Book Club together. So, and she's caught up on the Kathy Reichs books. Some of them she likes, some of them she doesn't. Which is interesting because Mel and I don't, like you would think because we were book club partners, we would like love all the same books. Not at all. Like she'll love a book and I'll be like, I couldn't stand it. Nikki and Tanya and I are the same way too. Like everybody in my life that like, Tanya and I are well, no. Caroline listens to all Audible books. And she only started it like 5 or 6 years ago. Caroline and I agree almost every book that we read, except for like she reads a lot of the romances, like the Emily Henry and all that stuff she loves. But I don't read a lot of that. None of the people that I know, except for Mel, reads cozy mysteries. Mel's read, she loves the Janet DeLeon books. She finally started them. She's like, I think she was waiting for the next. Who's the author that she really likes? She loves the Stephanie Plum books by Jana Ivanovich. Mel does. I read the first one. It was okay. I didn't love it. And Mel even said, like, if you get further into it, you'll love it. So I think I might read more of those. I'm like I think I have like 1 left of the Dexter series because I was thinking about downloading it. Probably is already in my library for when we go to Miami because it takes place, you know, in South Florida. And then I'll have read all the books in the Dexter series and I can start the show. I know that the show is not exactly like the books. I know that. It's hot out here. What was I going to say? I would love if somebody that I do not know from this neighborhood just walked by right now while I'm sitting out here like that. And guess what? I don't care. We added a new stick, but now I don't know which one it is. Is it this one? I don't think it is. We added a new one. It was real small. Those are the only small ones. But anyway, I say with everybody, well, maybe when it comes to true crime, unless it's like a bestseller, then Mel and I both usually agree on it. Like I'll Be Gone in the Dark. But the stuff that she likes true crime-wise and the stuff that I like true crime-wise, well, Mel likes something about a specific topic, like the Murdaugh case, and then she'll read everything on it. I like read like one, like I'm obsessed with like Eileen Mornos, but I don't need to read every book about it. I would say that's our different attitudes about it. She loves, but I will say this, she was the one that really pushed for the Mandy Matney book about the Murdaugh trials. What was that book called? Blood on Our Hands or something like that? That book was fantastic. That is probably, of all the true crime books, you know, having a true crime book club, if you like true crime, the last 6 years, or the 6 years that we did it, which was kind of a sad decision for us to end it, but it was just like, we were really, by the end, there really were not that many books that anybody really, it wasn't like there was 100 people that were begging to be in the, there's a lot of people online, but there weren't a lot of people that would show up, and so, and then every month, we were really struggling to find a book that either one of us would want to read, and it wasn't like true crime was like a bestseller was being put out every month that we really wanted to read. I mean, there were a couple things that we never did, like the Green Valley Killer. She had read about it. I think she read the Anne Rule book, but I had never read it. And there was a couple other people, but we've done like 3 or 4 summer serial killers. That was always really fun to do. I actually want to watch, I might watch this tonight to review it, the movie Summer of Sam. I haven't watched that since the year it came out. I think you have to rent it. I don't think it's airing anywhere. I'll look here. Let's look and see. But that was really sad for us to end it. But we both felt like it was right. We were like, I had a movie picked out for tonight that I was going to watch. What was it? I think I was just going to look on Tubi. No, you have to rent it. It's $3.99. I think it's real long, too. 2 hours and 22 minutes. I remember it being really, really good, though. I might watch that tonight. I've been wanting to watch that forever, and it's kind of warm out tonight. It's supposed to rain and stuff like that. It takes place, you know, during the blackout in New York City. But anyway, like Mel loves to read like mob stories. I don't. But Mel, I would say, like Nikki, Tanya, Caroline, I've tried them all to like. Nikki is the one that has tried other than Mel, but Nikki just doesn't really like cozy mysteries. Mel, when we did a couple months ago, God, 6 months ago now, when I did she told me to read it. The lobster boil book. Mel went on and read that. I did not like that first one, but Mel's like, if you keep on reading them, you'll really like it. She read the whole series. The Janet DeLeon, the Misfortune series, I think Mel's almost caught up. So she likes a lot of the same cozy mysteries that I do. So she's really, besides my neighbor, the only one that I talk to about cozy mysteries or gives me recommendations from it. But anyway, so we're doing I gotta get caught up on the Kathy Reichs books, and then after that, well, I think after I get done with this next one. Hey, what was that book that you read, the cozy mystery that has boil in the name of it, or broil?
Royal.
Yeah, it takes place, it's like a food, like a seafood boil or broil or whatever.
Low Country Boil.
Low Country Boil, yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
I like that.
Yeah, that was book one, and we read it like for my book club or whatever. And Mel really liked that series, and I just read the first one. I think it also took me a long time to read, and I didn't love it. She gave me the recommendation for that one. She also gave me the recommendation for what I think I'm going to pick for the Cozy Mystery Book Club from April. Anyway, Shimmer, are you done?
Yeah.
Yep, she's putting all of her stuff away. So. What was I talking about? Oh, so I have to finish, but I'm really liking the second Kathy Reichs book in the series. So once I get caught up with that, then January's done. Then I have the February books to get done, which I'm hoping to do this week. And then I'm really caught up with those. And then I have the Cozy Mystery Book Club for March. And then I have all the band book club. That's going to be a work in progress. But I think like the April book that I'm picking is very short. So... Anyway, you know what? It's all just for fun, so we'll get caught up when we get caught up on it. But last night, during my walk, I listened to a lot of the book. And then even when I got back, I laid in bed with the dogs for a little bit and Alex. Anyway, and so then I was going to listen to more of it. Oh, that's because, okay, when we got done watching RuPaul's Drag Race and Untucked, I was like... We didn't watch Beverly Hills, so he's watching like Water for Chocolate. It's like a new adaptation of it, not the book, not the movie. He's seen the movie, and I think he read the book for college. So he loves that whole story, so he's watching it, but he thinks it's fantastically done. So he was watching that, and I said, well, I'm gonna go outside and call Tanya. If I can't get a hold of Tanya, then I'm gonna listen to it was so nice outside. I was just gonna sit out here and listen to my audiobook for a little bit. But Tanya answered, so we ended up talking last night forever. God, we got laughing so hard about stuff last night. So we're going to hang out either tomorrow or Tuesday. Tanya, Jean, and I are. We're not really sure if we're going to go to a meeting. We weren't at first. We're just going to like grab dinner and like maybe get our feet done, maybe. And just kind of like get a fountain pop or something. So we're not really sure what we're going to do. Alex has dinner on Tuesday. If we do it Tuesday night, we probably will go to a meeting. But if we do it tomorrow night, then we'll probably just hang out. Alex is going out with 3 of his girlfriends for their monthly, what does he have it on here? Monthly dinner date. This restaurant that they all love. Now that we have our calendars synced up, it's like my calendar goes up all the time. His monthly dinner on here now. Dinner with the babes. Oh, it's early though. It's like from 6:30 to 8:30. His dinner with the babes. So yeah, so then last night, what else did I watch last night? Well, I want to watch another episode of Welcome to Plathville. Oh, and I also want to watch the Bob Barker thing on Price is Right. But I watched something else to get caught up last night. Watch RuPaul's Drag Race. Did I finish something last night? Oh my God, totally forgot about this, you guys. I'm like, okay. I think it's because I walked the dogs so much yesterday. Like, I mean, they took more walks than they usually do. And now they're walking all the way around here. It's so funny because Walter is the one that lays down. Otis just stands now. Like, he can handle it, but he gets real tired. They both get real tired. But when they come inside, like, and I take their, like, because I take their harnesses and leashes off here now. So they're getting real good with putting it all. They understand now. When I say walk, like, they get it. And they, like, they're not scared of it. They're scared of I figured it out. They're scared of the noise of the leash. So I put the leash and the harness like on the ground. I did this like 2 days in a row, and they would come over and smell it, and then I would kind of like move the leash over the floor so it made some noise, and they're not scared of it now. Like they understand, like I think they at least understand that they associate that sound with the leash and the harness, so they're not scared of it anymore. Because before, the leash that I got, the double, you know, leash kind of thing, like it is really clankety. It makes a lot of noises. It's a fantastic leash. Oh, I think I may have talked about this yesterday, but I walked them each on individual leashes yesterday. Okay, somebody commented and said that their husband doesn't like the double leash. I will say the double leash has some problems with it. Part of it, the reason why it's not super long, I think it's like this total, like each dog's little thing that goes off. I mean, it's longer than that from me because it goes down like this, probably to like my knees, and then it splits like a regular leash. But the problem is like if one of them is walking ahead, like Walter walks ahead, he kind of like pulls Otis. But then I figured out like what it does is it teaches them to walk side by side. So when they walk now, like when you, like they walk side by side, they're learning to do that. The other problem is, if you have one of these, you'll understand what I'm talking about. If one of the dogs wants to poop and the other dog wants to walk, like they don't really get it. So I have to like hold part, like if Otis is pooping, or if Walt, I have to hold the other dog's part of their leash so they stop, so the other dog can poop. And then I have to clean it up with, I have to clean it up with this plastic bag, okay, while I'm doing all this at the same time. But we're getting more used to that. They kind of like on the walks now, they have their areas where they poop, which thankfully is not like in people's yards usually, which it wouldn't matter because I pick it up anyway, but it's down here in front of the pool.
Are you talking about the cutest puppies in the whole wide world?
I am talking about the cutest puppies in the whole wide world.
My favorite.
She said my favorites. They love coming to see you.
Yeah.
So, you're so sweet.
Oh,
All the animals in the neighborhood love you.
yeah.
Is that a pussy willow?
Yep. Look
Look at that. She's pussying it up out there. She just looked up at me. Look, I got something. Oh.
I know.
This guy's walking by. This guy walked by. This little guy walked by. And he said something about her pussy willow. She's sticking him in this thing. And so when he walked by, she looked over at me like this, and I went, she just started laughing. Those sure are pretty pussy willows. Do you have them inside too? My mom always put them inside. Oh, they're home from vacation. She don't care.
The little peeps I put in that container.
No, I'll have to look. Peeps?
Peeps.
Now, do you have pussy willows inside?
No.
My mom used to put them inside.
Well, I'm not your mom.
No, you sure are not, thank God. I'm joking. Okay, so everybody's been on vacation. If I don't talk about somebody, you can just probably assume they're on vacation, okay? I just don't feel like it's my place to say. Do you know what I mean? Oh, no, he's closing the garage door. I think they just got home. She'll know. She's doing arrangements in the garage. So they were in Fort Myers. I think they were in Fort Myers. They left on a Tuesday. They didn't leave last Tuesday. She's done. She's inside the house. Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe they left Thursday, because they were gone for a long time. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. No, they didn't just go for 5 days. So they must have gone, I don't remember when they went. Stupid. So anyway, oh, this is what happened last night. So, when I got done talking to Tanya, I walked inside. God, it was so nice out here last night. Who's texting me? And I'm like thinking about this text that I got. This is from like a sober friend of mine. I'm like, connect. Did you ever do that? Did you see it like all kind of adding together in my head? Like I couldn't figure out what they said to me. Anyway, so it was so nice outside last night. But I took a lot of walks. I think the camera stopped. We were at 30-minute mark. Like after each walk they lay down, but like the last walk I took them on, like they were like really asleep. Like when we were watching RuPaul's Drag Race, like Walter was sleeping underneath my chair at the desk or the table that I like have the computer on. Oh, I've got to put up my new computer tonight. Like that's my goal. I have to put the computer together tonight, or put it up, or whatever you do with a new computer. I don't know. But anyway, and then Otis was sleeping like right out in the middle of the living room. Like they're just on the floor, and they were sleeping on the kitchen floor because I think it's cooler and whatever. Last night I had the window open. They really liked it. Later when I came down to watch TV, I was like, why did I only watch a little bit of TV last night? So what happened was I got into bed. Alex came upstairs too, and I don't remember what time that was. It was like 11 or something like that. I laid down for my nap later than I usually do after I got off the phone with Tanya, and all the lights were off in here, and he was on the couch and he was just like looking through his phone like on TikTok and stuff, and I said, I'm gonna go upstairs, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit, and he said, okay. The dogs went upstairs with me, and so he came upstairs, and like 5 minutes later, and I said, are you gonna watch a movie or something? He goes, no, I think he finished his show. I don't remember, but anyway, he goes, no, I think I'm gonna go to bed. I go, already? He goes, I'm really tired. I said, okay. So I said, well, I'm gonna lay down and take a nap and whatever. So I set my alarm like for 12:45, which I know sounds insanity to people, but if I get up and I get the dogs out by like 1:15, I'm like sitting in there with a cup of coffee watching my TV show and stuff. Well, I reached over when the alarm went off and I like snoozed it, and then I looked down and like Walter was like on his back, completely spread out, like asleep. And Otis was like in between our legs, asleep. And they don't sleep through the night with us in bed, and I was like, oh my God, they're doing so good. And I looked, and it was like 12:45, so I turned my alarm off. I was just like half asleep. I turned my alarm off because I was like, oh, they're asleep. You know, maybe they can, because Alex had said something to me earlier in the night. He was like, do you think they can sleep all the way through the night yet? I just don't want to risk it. Like, I'm worried, but like the longer we try it, like I'm just afraid they'll get up and they'll just, because they don't understand yet, they'll just pee straight in bed. Like that's my fear of it. And like, okay, if that happens, but like with Boo and Tucker, they had pee-pee to train them. And like Alex said, they didn't sleep with us. They would sleep with us for a night here and there, but like not every night. And Walter and Otis love their little house. So when I got up at 12:45, I was tired, so I just turned my alarm off. I usually like reset it or like for half an hour later or snooze it, and then I usually get up. Well, when I woke up, it was like 3:15. The dogs were like just waking up. I got up and then the dogs were like stretching and stuff. So I was like, okay, they're up now. Well, they had been sleeping, you know, for a good 4.5 hours. So they were tired, like they were awake because they had, you know, slept so much. I think they were so tired because of their walks. The walks really wear them out in a way that even just like the running around the house and stuff does, or when I let them out in the backyard and they run around the backyard, like it's completely different. Like and they love their walks. Walter the whole time is like this. They come back, they chug a bunch of water and stuff like that. But anyway, they were so tired last night. So got up, took them outside, and they were now, you know, they think we're going on a long walk. So it's 3:15 in the morning. So I'm like walking them down a little bit. I didn't walk them real far and stuff like that. And so when they came back, they were like just like standing in the yard and whatever. And so when we went inside, they ran around a bunch of stuff. But actually, they kind of like came back and slept next to me. So I didn't even get in the chair until like 3:45. What did I watch first? I watched I think I was watching previews for stuff last night. And then I ended up deciding on, I think I was watching like BritBox previews and trailers last night. I watched a trailer for something, what was it? Do you ever watch a trailer for something, you're so excited to watch it? Oh, Tanya told me to start Cross last night. I was like, I don't know if I want to start it yet, blah, 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 whatever. I was going to start Bridgerton last night, but I wasn't really in the mood for Bridgerton. Which I know sounds stupid. I love Bridgerton, but I don't know. Alex watched this season. He didn't really, usually, he's the one that got me started watching Bridgerton. He didn't get me started on it, but he was watching it, and season 2, I think, and I was like, oh, I think I'd be into this, and now I love it, but he didn't act like I haven't really heard anybody that blown away by this season of Bridgerton. Was it just okay? Queen Charlotte's my favorite out of the whole, franchise of all of it, and I think it was really smart of them to do the Queen Charlotte thing. I think they should do another season like that, not necessarily of Queen Charlotte. I don't think they could, because it's kind of a concluded story. But I think if they did a whole spin-off of somebody else, I think it would be genius. I think that Queen Charlotte was so well done. I think the musical aspect, the clothing, it's all so beautifully done, Bridgerton. But I just wasn't in the mood to watch it last night. So anyway, I ended up watching, what was I? Oh, I know what I was doing. Okay. So do you remember when I was telling you that documentary girl was recommending those, the Body Next Door? I'd already seen it. The Vow, I didn't realize. Has anybody watched this? Hold on a second. Gotta keep this Son of Sam thing up here, I'll forget about it. The Vow documentary is about that cult. I don't know anything about this. I've never watched a documentary about it. The Vow is a 2020 HBO documentary series about the, I don't even know how to pronounce this, NXIVM cult, following members and critics as they expose its leader, Keith Raniere, and its crimes including trafficking and racketeering. I don't know anything about, should I watch this? Like, I literally do not know anything about it. Oh, it's 15 episodes? Are you kidding me? Who has 15? What? How is it 15 episodes? Oh, it's 2 seasons. Has anybody watched it? Let me know in the comment section below. The Vow. I want to look up the other there's another documentary about this. Best. Hold on. Oh, shit. It's taking me out of this. Oh, what is it doing? I hate this. Okay. Let's see what they say the best one is on this. The best, is it, I don't, NXIVM? I don't know how to pronounce that. Documentaries are Seduced Inside the Cult on Stars and The Vow, which offer complementary views on this cult. Seduced is generally considered better for a focused, harrowing narrative on survivor India Oxenberg, while The Vow provides a broader multi-look at directors. Or defectors. I feel like there was another one on Netflix. Oh, here it is. Escaping. Oh, this is a Lifetime movie. Which one is best? For emotional depth and impact, Seduced is often chosen for its intimate focus on a victim's experience. For detailed investigation, The Vow is preferred for examining the broader rise and fall of the organization. Do you think who would recommend that to me to watch? Like, I'm like really kind of into this. Seduced documentary. Four episodes. An inside look at the NXIVM cult and its mag. Maybe I'll start with that one, and if I like it, I have Stars, so I can watch that. I think I'm gonna do that. Anyway, I was watching trailers for that stuff. There was shit, like 4 of the documentaries, I thought, I was like, I've never heard of these documentaries before, that I'd screenshot. I'd watched like, out of the 4, I think I'd watched 3 of them. The Vow was the only one I hadn't watched. Well, a lot of them, it was their top 20. I had seen almost all of them. But there were 3 that I screenshot that I was like, I've never seen these before. Here, I think I deleted them, but I deleted a bunch of stuff from my phone last night. That Dead Asleep is the only one. Has anybody watched this? I haven't read the comments from yesterday's vlog, so that might help me answer some of my questions. But anyway, so I didn't even get started watching my TV until like 3:45. And then I was watching trailers. The window was open. It was just so relaxing. So finally I got into bed late last night after I watched half of that, whatever that show is I'm watching. I don't even remember what it's called. What's it called? Where's it at? The Moor Side. And I didn't realize it was like a docudrama. I didn't know that at all. This complex drama about the real-life disappearance of 9-year-old Shannon Matthews drew over 10 million UK viewers. Sheridan Smith stars. Like, it's good, but it so reminds me of kind of like a Lifetime movie. Like, the main character, she smokes like 1,000 cigarettes and she runs this like community. Like, well, she doesn't run it. She starts this community search, and then the police are mad at her because they think that she's like, no, we're going to find her. And they keep on telling her, I don't know, so don't tell me if the girl's dead or not. But, I mean, horribly, I hope that didn't happen to her. But they keep on saying, like, don't give the family hope. And she's like, no, like, she's alive and all this kind of stuff. So, I don't know, but I'm going to watch into it tonight. It's really good. It feels like, I watch so much British television that literally feels like you're watching, like, The Banshees of Inisherin, like, or Oscar-nominated films. When you watch, like, an episode of Shetland, this does not feel like that. This feels like I'm watching a Lifetime movie. I don't mind it, because I love Lifetime movies, but it feels like, I don't know, on just a lesser level. But anyway, so I watched that last night, and then I got into bed and I read, and I read a chapter of the Cozy Mystery series by, what's her name? Veronica Mixon. The second book, it's something Mourning Doves. It's about this girl and her sister goes missing and she's 12 and they're helping her find her sister. And she doesn't trust anybody and she's been in the foster care system and their mom died, their dad they never knew. And so Emma, she's staying at Emma's house. It's kind of scary because of that. Like, they're all like keeping her a secret, but they're trying to find, because they don't want social services to come pick her up. And so they're like hiding her out kind of. It's good. I like it. Something Mourning Does, Beyond the Mourning Doves or something. So much better than the first one. I'm going to read all the books in the series. There's only 5. I'm loving it. And then Mary Jane Owen, I'm reading 2 of her books right now. I'm reading Last Lady Standing. I think it's what it's called or something. And First Lady Standing. I don't know. Anyway, it's the book 2 of the Cozy Apocalypse series, and I love it. I wish she would write a whole series of this. And then I started her first book, which is called, I told Nikki about this. I said she'd like it, and she said, we'll see. Tanya only reads, she's finished 3 or 4 books this week already. We're talking about it. I sent her a screenshot of this book. Hold on, where's it at? People keep on, I can't find in my screenshots, but people keep on asking me what I think of this Taylor Frankie Paul thing from Secret Lies of Mormon Wives and The Bachelorette. I don't know. I need to read a lot more about it. To be honest with you, I was going to jump on the next day and make a video responding to it. But after I watched the video clip of her and Dakota, I was like, I have like initial thoughts about it. Like, I do think it's interesting that the clip is coming out 3 years later. I don't think there's anything okay with the clip. Her daughter's in the background seeing it. I think whatever as viewers or audience members, we look at these things from whatever side, we bring in our own personal experiences with it, and I think this is a hard situation. I think it's a big deal that The Bachelorette canceled her season. It's a huge deal. And I was asking Tanya last night, because to be honest with you, the whole situation makes me very sad. Apparently Secret Lies of Mormon Wives stopped filming. Tanya told me, or somebody told me that. But I said, but did they pull the season? They didn't. I mean, you're talking about, it's a lot of money. I think they were like halfway through filming The Bachelorette and they just stopped it. Like, they're losing a lot of money on that. So, I don't know. And like, from a marketing point of view, it probably would have got them a lot of viewers. So, I mean, you're talking about, they tried to go with some integrity, I guess. I hope. I don't know what the choice was. But I didn't understand, because Taylor Frankie Paul online was saying, like, thank you for the opportunity to heal myself, and like, but then I think it was Tanya, I said, did she step away or did she get fired? She goes, no, she got fired. They stopped the show. Like, they ended the show. I was like, okay, I didn't understand it. This is a situation, I've said this a lot through the years on my drama channel, this is a situation where I don't feel like I know enough about it to make an educated response. And until I do, I won't be making that video. I don't even feel like I know enough about it to make an educated response to it on here. I've seen the video. Yeah, I haven't read any of the statements that they put out, him or her. I was watching an interview. This is completely off the subject, but the one girl and her husband that were working things out because of intimacy, I guess they filed for divorce. That comes out in the new season. I haven't started watching the new season yet. And honestly, like, I don't really know how I feel about it now. I want to see how they respond to it. I mean, I don't love it that much that I feel like I need to watch that show. But the one gal, she's like, I don't love this girl on the show. I don't know what it is about her. I can't explain it. She seems very rude to me on the show. But at the same time, like, I feel bad for her history of trauma. But I think I know a lot of people that have histories of trauma. And maybe that's why she acts that way. I don't know. She just comes across as, like, distant and kind of rude on the show. She's just not my favorite. Michaela, I think is her name. She's fine. She's okay. She's not my favorite. But her and her husband apparently separated. I never would have seen that coming. Like, that really makes me kind of sad. But it's always interesting to me. And they were going to therapy. But it's always interesting to me, all these on these shows that are very religiously based, that they never go to like extensive therapy or, you know, anything like that before like filing for divorce. They're all really young too. Like when you look at how young they are, I mean, I think she's like 23 or 24 and she's got like 3 kids and she's been married and she's getting divorced. I mean, that's young. Like, hell, I was a year sober at that age. Maybe she's 25. I mean, I know they're not like 35. Like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I don't know. I think with the Taylor Frankie Paul, one thing, and I haven't looked into it, this is one thing I will say, that now the question of parenting comes into play about it, and they're looking about like her probation being violated or whatever, her parental rights being taken away. So the video was filmed in 2023, it's 2026. So Dakota wasn't worried about these children until 3 years later. Like, that's what concerns me about it, right? Like, has it come out that he reported it to the police at the time? Like, did he send the videos at the time? Like, that's, if he did, then take back that statement. I 100% retract that statement. But if he didn't, then it's like, what? And I always wonder that. Like, in covering influencers, it's like you knew this piece of information, but you didn't drop it till now. Like, why? Like, that's what's interesting to me about the whole situation. But what she did in that video, oh no, there's nothing right. Nothing right about that video. The video made me sick to my stomach. It was really hard to watch. And I watched it one time. And I won't be watching it again. I don't think there's a need to. I saw, you know, and I really just wanted to see it because everybody was talking about it. And I thought, well, I need to judge for my own eyes about, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, Taylor Frankie Paul is literally the star of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. She started Monn Talk, and she was going to be the star of The Bachelorette this year. Well, she's got a baby. Baby's name is Ever, with this guy that's on the show, and his name is Dakota, who has cheated on her multiple times. I don't know, but just by watching it, I feel like it's a confrontation of like her finding out he had cheated on him. But I could be wrong about that. They've had this very volatile relationship. She's found out he's cheated on her multiple times. She continues to get back together with him. Back and forth, back and forth. I had heard that there were rumors that she told him before she won The Bachelorette, wait for me until I get back from the show. Which, that's sick. Like, why are you going on the show then? You know what I mean? It's all about the money. But then all this stuff comes out. Now, a lot of people are saying that Dakota has a way of, like, dropping stuff on her, like, not on this level, but like trying to ruin moments for her. I think this goes a little bit farther than that. Okay, so this video comes out. I guess it came out from Dakota. I don't know. It was a video he took, and it was from, I believe, 2023. So she has previous kids with, I think she was married before, her boyfriend. She has previous, I think, 2. You can hear the daughter in the background. And Dakota, she's like hitting him. And they're screaming, well, she's really screaming at him. At first, he's kind of laughing. And he's like filming the whole thing like this as she's coming at him. But at one point, he like turns it and he's filming at her. And she picks up like these metal bar stools. And she like hits him with this metal bar stool, okay? And that's when you can hear the little girl in the background. And she's like, she says like, mommy or something. And she's right there. She has to be because you can hear her like right in the phone. And then she picks up another, I think she picks up a, maybe I'm getting it wrong, but it was it's like a metal bar stool, right? Like, she picks up another one and she like throws it across the room at him. That's all I saw. If there's more to it than the video, that's the only video clip I saw. By the time I went over to TMZ, I couldn't find the video clip. People were telling me it was there, so I just looked it up online and I found the clip. But it was enough for me that I was like, yeah, this is bad. Like, this is some serious stuff here. And not only that, what's going on with her towards him and what the excuse is and whatever, but the fact that the child is witnessing this, I mean, I don't know. But that's always where my mind goes, you know, is the children that are witnessing that, and I don't know. I think also because my parents were very, very conscious of that stuff, and very conscious of, and maybe I am kind of old school about some of the stuff because of that, I don't know, but like my mom with dating would always say like, she would never bring a man around me when I was younger unless they had dated for like 6 months or a year. I think she said a year. And she knew that they were going to like be there, like they were going to get married or he was going to stay in her life. And she's like, and that's why you never met anybody. I didn't meet my stepmom until, I think my dad and her had been dating for like 8 months. So my stepmom lived in the basement, the apartment that my dad lived in. He lived on the top floor. She lived in the basement. It was 4 stories. Well, it was basement, and then it was 3 stories, and he was on the top floor. So we were actually, her and her ex-husband, she got married and had her, well, she didn't get married there, but she had her wedding reception at the, like the little like pool area and stuff at the apartment. The apartment that my dad lived in at the time was also my first apartment. I lived on the other side of the apartment building. We didn't live there at the same time. I loved those apartments. Anyway, my dad lived in there and then I lived in there. They're very Scandinavian looking. I just loved them. But they were like singles apartments back in the day. And like there's always like when you pulled in the summer, there's always beach volleyball with like sand pits and there's always people walking. It was very young. And so I remember like I would go to the pool a lot, you know, when I was with my dad and we stayed up there. Well, I can remember one night, my dad I said, it was like when he first moved in. I was like, that's your neighbor. And he was like, yeah. And she had like this like, do you remember like Urban Cowboy? She had like the cowboy hat on with like the lei, not the lei, I still joke with her about it today because that was like the first time that like, well, I think I met her husband that first time. But anyway, she lived in the basement apartment. My dad lived on the top. And so my dad knew her and her husband. Nothing weird about that. But anyway, then like my dad lived there for like a long time. Well, he moved in there when I was like 5. And then she must have got married when I was like 6. And then she got divorced they moved out. They kept the apartment and then they moved into a house. And they got separated like 6 months later and she moved back into the basement apartment. She worked at the hospital with my dad. And so, but she was like in data processing. So he would just see her at the hospital and be like, hey, how are you? And stuff like that. I mean, he knew her from the building, but it was nothing like they didn't know each other. So it was like 2 years later or something. She was living in the basement and somebody had given my dad, this was their very first day, somebody had given my dad Bruce Springsteen tickets. And so my dad loved Bruce Springsteen. And he was like, do you want to go to Bruce Springsteen? He was like at the hospital. And I think he was at the hospital and he saw her. They used to run. My dad is like, both of them are like massive runners. Neither one of them do anymore. But they used to like, when they first got together for like the first 10 or 15 years, marathon runners. I mean like every day. And so he would see her running and she ran. And so like, anyway, he was like, I think they had said something like we should go on a run or something sometime, and my dad said something about how about we skip that run? Do you want to go to see? My dad was like trying to be very careful about the whole situation because he knew that like I think she just got like the divorce had just been final or something like that. But anyway, so he was like, do you want to go see Bruce Springsteen? So they're actually their first date was going to see Bruce Springsteen together, and so. Then they dated for a while after that. I don't remember how old I was when I first met her, but I do know that my mom had met her. My mom had talked to her. And that was really important to my mom and to my dad. And that my mom was very aware of like, she was dating my dad and they were serious. Like it wasn't like she was gonna be out. Like that occurred. And that was kind of a deal that my mom and dad had made before they got separated, was that anybody that was gonna be brought into life in regards to me was gonna be known by the other parent. Which is interesting because early on, my mom and my stepmom did not like each other. Well, I should say my mom didn't like my stepmom. I think my stepmom was indifferent to it. But my mom was like 5 foot her whole life, okay? My stepmom is like 5'10", real tall, and looks like a runner. My mom did not. So it was like everything opposite. A lot of people have said that my stepmom looks like Julia Roberts, and like they used to say Caroline did too, and Steel Magnolias. They don't look anything alike, but like Caroline and my stepmom. But we went and saw the movie Stepmom one year. And Julia Roberts in it drives like a Land Rover, and she's a painter, she's an artist in the movie. My stepmom is an artist, okay? She was a commissioned painter for years, and she drove a Land Rover at that time. My mom, we went and saw it like on Christmas Day. My mom walked out to smoke a cigarette. She said, I cannot do this anymore. She's like, this is too much. But what's funny is, I think through having, because you know, my dad was so, I feel like I've told this story so many times. My dad was so busy. Oh, the battery went to the halfway mark. My dad was so busy. I did bring in another battery, but I think I'm going to probably end this a little bit short today. My dad was so busy with like meetings for work and on and on and on that my stepmom and my mom had to arrange a lot of like the passing off of like who's going to pick up Peter and like because he's going to be with us. Because I was with my dad and my stepmom every Wednesday and every other weekend. So a lot of times my stepmom would pick me up, and then like if it was a Wednesday, usually I didn't always do stuff with all of them. Like, usually Wednesdays, my dad tried to keep to just he and I doing something. But on the weekends, it was a lot of us, you know, doing stuff. And then, you know, my parents also tried to arrange, like, if my dad was on call, like, he knew he was just going to be at home. So he just, like, yeah, you know, like, so, you know what's interesting to me is, and I know a lot of this, whenever I say this, it's not popular opinion, because a lot of people are like, you don't know my ex, and blah, blah, blah. I totally understand all that, okay? But I have, like, a lot of people that I know in my personal life that are, like, I would really like to do, I feel like Caroline says this to me about some of her friends a lot. Like, I'd really like to do this trip, but I can't because my ex won't take the kids that weekend, and it's not his weekend. And I'm like, that was not me growing up. And I've talked to both my parents about that, my mom before she passed away and my dad, and they both were like, no, we never argued about it. If my mom, like, called my dad and said, it's a Thursday, like, I know you had Peter last night, do you care to have him tonight, or whatever, my dad would be like, no, not at all. Like, my mom, when she was getting her master's degree, my dad, like, he took me a lot, you know, and if my mom wanted to go out of town or wanted to go to a friend's house or whatever, my dad would be like, yeah, I have no problem taking Pete. If, like, it was, like, my dad and my stepmom were going to be out of town for, like, 2 or 3, so they got married when I was 12, so it wasn't too many years until I was, like, by myself and could stay by myself and stuff like that, so that kind of was, like, out of the way by then. But, it was, like, holidays, my parents never fought about holidays, ever. I don't remember ever. I mean, usually as I got older, it would be like, well, I always wanted to be with my mom for Christmas. I would do, like, Christmas Eve and the 23rd with my dad and then go after, when I was younger. But, like, later, like, I was always with my mom during Christmas. Easter, I usually would spend with, like, my dad and my stepmom because we would go somewhere for spring break. But, like, my mom loved Easter. It was her favorite holiday. I don't remember her ever being like, I wish you would be here with me on Easter. Never. Birthdays, I think, like, you know, I think one of the things, too, is that, I think this is one of the things that pisses me off, honestly. I know when I say this, people are going to be like, well, it's a man's right, too, blah, 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 whatever. My dad knew, like, my dad loves me. I mean, like, if you put the lasso through the room and said, what's the greatest thing you ever did, he'd say, having my son. Like, that's been the thing that changed my life the most. Both my parents felt that way. My dad was also very conscious of the fact that my mom's entire life revolved around me. So, even if it was, like, let's say his Christmas, which they never rotated holidays like that, he would have been like, you need to be with your mom for Christmas. Like, birthdays, like, my mom, if my mom could not be, I mean, I see people like this where the men are like, they're really indifferent to it, but they're like, no, it's my birthday to be with you. I'm like, that would have killed my mom as a little kid. Like, honest to God. Like, if I was, like, 8 years old and my dad was like, no, it's my year to have him for his birthday, you're not going to, like, that would have killed my mom. To be sitting in a house by herself and knowing that I'm having a birthday party somewhere else or a birthday somewhere, no, that would absolutely killed her. And when I was, like, a little kid, my dad and my stepmom, and before she came in, like, my dad had a girlfriend for a while, like, they would take me to, like, Kings Island. They would take me stuff, but we would always do it the weekend before or after. My dad was so considerate of my mom and stuff like that. He was like, no, and he would say to me, you need to be with your mom. The other thing was, like, neither parent ever let me speak poorly about the other parent. Like, even though I found out, I didn't even know how bad they didn't like each other. They respected each other. They had, and I think that's the difference. They both had mad respect for each other, but they didn't like each other. And it really was just about the fact that they had been so in love and they fall out of it. I think my mom, my mom said many times in her life she would have stayed married her entire life and never gotten divorced. I said, you would have stayed unhappy? She said 100%. I took the vows of marriage very, very seriously. My dad was not about that. My dad's like, we've given it everything we can. And he told me, he said, one of us deserves to be happy, and I know your mom's not going to leave, so I'm getting out. And he was like, hopefully she can get happy through it. Because he knew my mom would have stayed her entire life in a miserable marriage and just been like, and I think in retrospect, I mean, I never really had this conversation with her, but used the vows of marriage and her commitment as an excuse to not have to move on with her life. If, like my mom, I witnessed her, I don't know if she would say this, but she never really seemed that happy with my dad when I was around. I think the younger years, before I was around, I think she was real happy. I think when they moved to Indianapolis from Chicago and my dad started his practice and they had the house and she's a housewife, and I think she lost her independence. I think she loved being a mom. I think, I said something to my mom one time about, like, because she would say, like, people always think the spouses are jealous of the nurses and the technicians. She's like, your dad always got that. She's like, but I did too. She's like, you think men weren't hitting on me at Northwestern Library? She was like, it wasn't like we both didn't get that. She's like, that was never it for me. I I don't know, I just think things changed for them when they moved to Indianapolis, especially when they moved into the house. I think like, and neither one of them are happy anymore. But you know, like my dad told me once, he said, not once, we've had this conversation multiple times, he said neither one of us was happy, and like really the camera stopped. And he was like, having you was really the way to kind of like save the marriage. Because this was when I was going through this period of time when my mom said she had dated this guy that, anyway, I found the letters and all of it. Well, she didn't say she dated this guy. She said the guy was gay and that she met him in Hyannisport, but the letters were really from this guy she met in Miami. The whole thing's so weird. It's so secretive because it all has to go back to my grandma. And they didn't want us to know that my grandma had been in prison, so they couldn't say that they were in Miami and they lived down there for an entire summer. So my mom had to change it, God knows why, to Hyannisport and make up this whole story about being friends with this gay guy. I don't know why, but maybe she has a friend that was gay. I mean, she had a lot of friends that were gay, but back then, but if he did exist, he was in Miami, not Hyannisport, because I don't think my mom ever set foot in Hyannisport until her honeymoon, which is where my mom and dad went on. It's weird. But anyway, if you guys want to hear that story and you don't know it, let me know and I'll put it in the comment section below. But, what was I saying though about all that? Oh, I went through this period where after my mom passed away that like I was trying to find him and all this kind of stuff, and I thought, well, maybe my dad's not my dad. And I remember having a conversation with my dad, and at first he kind of laughed, but then he got a little pissed, and he was like, first of all, Peter, he goes, we look identical. We do. My dad and I look identical. I mean, I have his eyes, 100%. Like, my mom had very blue eyes, my dad has very blue eyes. I always say I'm kind of in the middle. I have my dad's eyes. I'm like, we both, like, my beard fills in better than his, but like if you saw a picture of my dad at my age, you'd be like, you guys are twins. Like, we're built very, my dad's a lot taller than me. I'm like 5'10" and a half. My dad's like 6'2", 6'3", but like other than that, like we look identical. And he was like, I even remember, he goes, Peter, I even remember when you were conceived. He was like, we went to the homecoming game at IU and we stayed in the Union Hall because we loved it. One of the fireplaces in the house that I grew up in was out of the Union Hall. It was like the Union Hall fireplace that they had at IU in Bloomington. And he was like, I can remember, like, we were trying to reignite this romance that started, you know, like we would go down to Bloomington for romantic weekends. And he was like, we were trying to ignite that again. Like, my parents wrote each other poetry and all this kind of stuff and did artwork for each other. I mean, it was very romantic for several years. And they would both talk about that. Like, they were so in love that when the love was gone, there really wasn't anything there except for just respect for the other person as a parent. So they never would allow me to talk badly about each other. My dad especially. Like, well, I never really talked bad about my dad. He pissed me off sometimes. My mom would say things like, you don't talk about your dad that way. Like, your dad has done a lot for us. He always shows up for you, whatever. But like, if I ever said something like, if I ever out of pocket called my mom a name or something, my dad, I mean, that woman gave you life and you will respect her, and she has done so much for her and her entire life. I mean, my dad never ever let me ever say one bad thing about my mom. And I'm so thankful for that, you know, like, if the person that couldn't get along with my mom the most and the person that couldn't get along with my dad most were setting the boundaries and respected them, then it didn't give me an excuse to go that other way, right? And I want to be very real about this. Like, I didn't grow up in horribly abusive situations either. It would have been in a different situation. I think even in that situation, though, I don't know that my parents, either one of them, would have engaged in the conversation with, I mean, they would have engaged in that conversation, but I think they would have gotten me I was in counseling the whole time I was growing up. I think they would have gotten me the appropriate people to talk to, but I don't know that my mom or my dad would have sat there and been like, had a conversation with me on that level. Well, first of all, they would have taken that very, very seriously. So I don't know, but that wasn't my story, so I don't know, but I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that they didn't fight over that stuff. Like, I have friends of mine that are like, oh my God, I can remember my parents fighting over, like, whose house I was at for Thanksgiving, and I could care less. And, like, because I'll be like, oh, you hate Thanksgiving. Why do you hate Thanksgiving? Because my parents ruined it for me. Because they'd fight over whose house I was at for Thanksgiving. Like, you don't care about your kid enough? I understand you hate your ex, okay? You don't have to talk to your kid about it. Find somebody else to talk to about it. I don't think that's a kid's place to know that stuff. You know, I don't even think I understood, really. Like, both my parents, I remember when they sat me down and said they were getting divorced. I remember that. And I understood that what it meant, because they explained it to me at my age group for my level. And both of them sitting there said it has nothing to do with you, and it's not that we don't love you anymore, and all this kind of stuff. Because it was right after, well, my mom was keeping my dad's phone number in her purse or something, or in a drawer, and I found it. And I used to have those tongue depressors, so when I go to my dad's office, I would just, like, bring a bunch of, like, you know, gauze and stuff home. And I wrote it down on a tongue depressor, and I like hid it in my top drawer. I think at that point, like they had just separated, and my dad was like his apartment phone. He got an apartment and then told my mom he was moving out. That's what happened. But I remember my mom found the tongue depressor with my dad's phone number on it, which is so weird because I can like remember that phone number to this day. God, it's so weird. But I said, she found it, and she like, confronted is the wrong word, but like, she was like, sweetie, you don't have to hide. If you want to talk to your dad, you can talk to your dad, like anytime, all day long if you want to. Like, she was like, I didn't know that you didn't. And so then I remember my dad talked to me. This makes me so sad even thinking about it. Like, I don't even know where I thought I had to keep it a secret. And then my dad talked to me about it, and he was like, anytime that you want to talk to me, or if you're with me and you want to talk to your mom, like, we talk to each other every day. At that point, they were talking to each other every day. So there was nothing to keep a secret about. And I don't know, like, what, hey, how are you? Good. I don't know, like, where I got that in my head, maybe from TV shows or whatever, but I don't know. I feel very, very blessed. If my dad was sitting here, my dad is so funny. He'd be like, oh, I completely fucked up parenting you. That's what my dad would say. He'd say, everything I did, I fucking did wrong. Like, that's what my dad would say. It's just not true, you know? My mom said to me one time, or she said to a counselor, she's like, if there was a book that you could read that told you that if you read pages 1 through 100, what parent wouldn't read that? That would tell you how your child would turn out perfect, whatever that even looks like. Well, I met a lot of parents that wouldn't read that book. They wouldn't even read page 1 of that book. They could care less, you know? I don't know. My parents did the best they could. I think that's why my mom felt guilty about her drinking her entire life. And I talk a lot about my mom's drinking, but the reality is my mom was not, I'm not making excuses for her, but she wasn't falling down drunk every single day of her entire life. And I don't know that it even would matter if she was in her active addiction. I've had so many friends when I share the story of my mom say that they're so, like I don't understand what it feels like to have seen my parent get sober, or for my parents to see me get sober, because their parents died before they got sober, or they didn't get to see their parents. Like, what a blessing that is. And it is truly a blessing, you know? Because my mom and I got to have those conversations where she'd say, I feel like the shittiest mom ever for everything that happened in your childhood. And we could have those conversations, you know? I think they did pretty good for not having any skills or any talents. And honestly, what parent does, you know? But I also think there's some common sense you bring into it, you know? Like, I don't know, I can remember people talking about their parents' income and stuff like that. I have never in my life, nor do I know now, know what my parents, either one of them, ever made financially. Never. I've never to this day known. That was just off topic to me. Never have I ever known that. Don't feel like I need to, you know? And I think there's a lot of things that are really none of my business. I don't know. And that was kind of made clear to me early on, too. Not in like a rude way, but you know, like, I remember my dad, and I've learned this. When people ask me questions, especially this is flashing red, so I gotta get off here, about sexuality things. My dad would say to things when I would ask him questions younger. He would say, if you can explain to me why you need to know this information, why it will change something about you, I'll let you know. I have no problem sharing it with you. So when people ask me things like, are you a top or a bottom, which I have no problem answering that question whatsoever, but if you can explain to me why that answer is so important to you, or why it will change your outcome, then 100% I'll answer that question. Why am I ending on that? Anyway, apply it to whatever. Okay, I'm gonna get off here now. It looks like the rain is coming. I hope I can get my walk in before the rain comes. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Sunday. I hope you're getting refreshed, renewed, relaxed, rejuvenated for the week ahead. I can't believe it's let me go this long. I hope you have a fantastic end to your week and a fantastic beginning to your week starting tomorrow if you're watching this on Monday morning. I love you guys, and of course I'll see you tomorrow. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.